ತಿರಸ್ಕಾರ ದಯಮಾಡಿ ಅದೊಂದು ತಪ್ಪು ಕಲ್ಪನೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಮಾಡೋದಂದ್ರೆ ತಿರಸ್ಕಾರ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಮಾಡುವುದು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಕ್ವಶನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀನಿ ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ. ಅದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ತಿರಸ್ಕಾರ. ಅನೇಕ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನು ಯಾವಾಗ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ, ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ನಾವು ಬುದ್ಧಿವಂತರು ಮೂಢನಂಬಿಕೆಗಳು ನಿಜ, ಕೆಲವು ಮೂಢನಂಬಿಕೆಗಳಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಅನೇಕ ಮೂಲನಂಬಿಕೆಗಳು ಇಲ್ಲ. ಮೂಲನಂಬಿಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ರಾತ್ರಿ ಹೊತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಸ ಹೊಡಿಬಾರ್ದು, ಇದು ಮೂಲನಂಬಿಕೆ. ಅವತ್ತು ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಬೆಲೆಬಾದ ವಸ್ತು ಅವರು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಮೂಲನಂಬಿಕೆ ಅಂತ ಕರೀ, ಕೆಲವು ಕಾಲಬಾಹಿರ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇರಬಹುದು. ಆದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಮೂಢನಂಬಿಕೆ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಮಾಡುವ ಮೂಲಕ ಈ ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನ ಕಲಿಯೋಣ. ಹಾಗೇನೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಂಕ್ಟಿವ್ ನೆಗೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ 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 ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ನೋಸಿಸ್ ಬರೋಣ. ಹಾಗೆ ಬರುವ ಮೂಲಕ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಶೋಧನೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಫಲಪ್ರದವಾಗಲಿ, ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ವೈಶ್ವಿಕ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಗುರುತಿಸುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಸಂಶೋಧನೆ ನಮ್ಮದಾಗಲಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೂ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಆಯುರ್ವೇದಿಕ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೂ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಚೈನಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದಂತ ಆ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ವೈದ್ಯ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಮಾಡಿದಂತ ಸಂಶೋಧನೆ ಏನಿದೆ ಮೇಲ್ಮಟ್ಟದ, ಆ ರೀತಿಯ ಮೇಲ್ಮಟ್ಟದ ಸಂಶೋಧನೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಮಾತನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವಕಾಶ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅನುಭವದ ಮಾತುಗಳಿಗೆ. As we move to the most awaited part of today's event, I now request our beloved faculty colleague, Dr. Gaganalakshmi D, Medical Officer, Government Nature and Yoga Medical College, Mysore, to kindly come forward and introduce our keynote speaker. This introduction helps us to connect with the achievements and contribution of the speaker, leading us into the session that promises depth, inspiration, and powerful academic insights. Over to you, Doctor.
Good morning, one and all present here, respected guests on dais, distinguished guests and faculty members. It is a pleasure to introduce an inspirational personality, Dr. M.A. Shekhar sir, a highly respected clinician, academic leader and administrator in the fields of diabetology and endocrinology. Over the course of his distinguished career, he has shaped medical education and healthcare and beyond. He formerly served as the Vice Chancellor of Adi Chanchandgiri University, where he played a pivotal role in advancing academic standards and institutional growth. An alumnus of Mysore Medical College, Dr. Shekhar sir, throughout his career has had several high-impact leaders in Karnataka Institute of Endocrinology and Research, Dean of the Government Dental College and Research Institute, and Director and Dean of Bangalore Medical College and Research Institute. Notably, he held the position of in-charge Director of Medical Education. He has also held led the Department of Endocrinology at Mysore Medical College, helping develop and strengthen the field through academic rigor and clinical excellence. Advocate for patient-centered diabetic care, he established the Apurva Diabetic Foundation, where he serves as a founding diabetologist and providing comprehensive services and promoting community awareness. His work has earned him numerous recognitions including the B.C. Roy Award, the RJHS Best Teacher Award, and Lifetime Achievement Award by Research Society for the Study of Diabetes in India, Karnataka chapter. Dr. Shekhar sir has also contributed extensively to regulatory and academic
this particular topic because it is about research methodology and methods and students. This particular speech is not for students, it's for teachers, faculty. This is the dichotomy that across Atlantic Ocean will happen. When you go to England, you still call a teacher. But Americans across Atlantic, they don't call you teachers, they call you faculty. Do you know why? Have you any idea? English is a very funny language. You rearrange the letters in teacher, what do you get? Cheaters. So you Americans did not want to call teachers as cheaters or etc. and they wanted. Okay, you She must be the head. She asked for 4 crores. Which funding agency will give this? So be practical when you ask for funding. 5-page protocol. The protocol I saw, first page is about significant section. First page is to tell you a little bit more because this is the most important place where you all get prakasham. It stops. Your thinking process will never go beyond that unless the significance section is good. Title specification you can give whatever you want. 2 and 5 should be so-called design subjects, variables, blah 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 and all that. This is what I'm sure my following faculty will be talking to you about. But what's important is significant section. 1 page, 2 hours. There is no connect between the question and the methodology we do. So let's look at what is research question. Simple answer is an uncertainty in the population. The investigator wishes to research. That's all. What is the research question? There is an uncertainty research, nothing more about that. But what's more important is the hypothesis. Research is very simple. Research question, if you know the hypothesis, you can do a good job. What is hypothesis? Transformation of research question into an operational statement. Research question, don't worry, I've seen, when I was asked to do an independent review from many of your judges, the research question would run to 4 sentences or sentence. Let the research question be whatever you want to. So, transformation of research question into operational statement. Without theory, cut and paste and I leave it to you. Let's look at this. Can you read? Hello, English Parakama? The results of a study released today found that living is the #1 cause of death. You all agree? Can you refute it? Why do you die? You are living. Reasons are so many. So fantastic. Research. Nobody can say no to it. Nobody will give you money also. Okay? So, it is. Just consumption of Triphala, please don't ask me what it is. Just pick up, thought it and wrote. Improve glycemic control in adults with pre-diabetes compared to standard lifestyle advice alone. Is it a good question? Lifestyle. ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಎದ್ದು ತಿಂಡಿ ತಿಂದು ರಾತ್ರಿ ಊಟ ಮಾಡು ಮಲ್ಕೋ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಸೈಸ್ ಮಾಡು ಸಾಕು ಲೈಫ್ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ just adding Triphala, simple Triphala, improve glycemic control in adults with pre-diabetes, not diabetes. Pre-diabetes, not moving to diabetes, just lifestyle cannot help some Triphala disease. Is it a good question? Who says it's not a good question? Stand up on that. Right? It's a good question. Really. Now, what is the hypothesis? How did you come up with this question? What's the hypothesis that you can write? I come there. Otherwise, you'll have to go to another place. I just come here so that you can see me. Let them have neck creams. Now, can you hypothesize this? You don't see them? Come here. No, it's just. Can you hypothesize? Somebody try. There is Triphala, there is pre-diabetes, there is glycemic control, there is standard lifestyle. Faculty. Triphala question here. What formulation? How much? When? This hypothesis. Pre-diabetes, gut stone, young people, old people, very old people, standard lifestyle advice. Because going to the baseline, standard lifestyle advice, wherever people is the same. But the variants are Triphala, pre-diabetes, adults, male, female, and all that. So I've written a small hypothesis. Daily administration of Triphala for 12 weeks, we can give amount also. I didn't know the amount. will result in a statistically significant reduction in fasting blood glucose and HbA1c levels compared to lifestyle treatments alone. That is the concept. Then you make it a small research question. Okay? I will give my slides to every one of you. I will not ask questions. Don't take a picture. Still takes a picture. Does a personalized Ayurvedic diet based on Prakriti assessment improve markers of metabolic syndrome more effectively than standard calorie restricted diet? I'm not going to talk much because you're all Ayurvedic people. Prakriti. About 10 days ago I was in Bangalore, I spoke about this. Dr. Chennai knows. Dr. Shetty, I spoke about this. Let me tell you, from 2015 onwards, there are plenty of studies and they have come up with Ayurgenomics. Vata, Kapha, Pitta are their genetic disposition. They have done it. It's been 10 years now. You have what are the gene expressions of Vata people, Kapha people, Pitta people, all those funny people combinations. It's already done. It's already done. Also integration of your so-called diet and how it works with genomics. It's already done. All you have to do is research about this and say it is correct. I agree with this. Or you stand up and say I don't agree, it's wrong. You should give double the dose. You should give it with alcohol. The hypothesis I told you, HbA1c issue. How many days you are going to do, etc. Did I make it clear to you? So where do you start your research? Not with the research question, with hypothesis. You have to hypothesize what you want to do and make it into a research question. That's the first step you take. The sequence, you all know, I've just written it. So that what is pedagogy? You teach the children. That's called pedagogy. What is opposite to that? Andragogy. Menagogy both are very good secret. Andragogy is to teach adults. What am I doing today? Pedagogy or andragogy? The first concept of andragogy is repeated reinforcement. Continue to speak the same thing. Nobody talks about A after the first standard. Okay? But andragogy, every week so that is repeated reinforcement. So sequence is a repeated reinforcement. Choosing the question, hypothesis, developing the protocol, blah 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 blah. So this should become a spinal cord reflex for all teachers who want to research. You don't have to use your brain, use your spinal cord. Something fits you. What you do? Withdraw. Your brain is involved in spinal cord reflex. This should be the spinal cord reflex of all researchers, teachers who want to be researchers. This is the second thing I want to tell you. So now, you want to get into research field. What's the first thing you do? Is start the significance part of it. You're still doing it. Okay. Now, the last component of this is why publish? This is simple theory part of it. I'm not going to really bore you about the concept. Just written. Articles from the nature and final products of all science. What a stupid statement. What does scientists do? Start researching and start directors. What happens? Don't go with them. This is the important thing. Why publish? Highest value is reached when scientific information as published material becomes part of the world final knowledge. Right? You remember? How many Ayurveda textbooks are there? 50,000? So it is fine. For us, 50 lakhs makes sense. For universe, 50 lakhs is nothing. Not today. From now, somebody, 10 people, they say, so and so has done this research. share it with your enemy, then your friend, then your colleagues, then into the state and things like that. Find an important carries. Today, when you don't have two papers, in the peer review, it's a promotion, important concept of caring. So that have that pressure. Principal says, Rajiv Gandhi University says, heavily on publishing research papers. Grants also. Sir, ನಾನು 10 ಪೇಷಂಟ್ಗೆ ತ್ರಿಫಲ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ ಗ್ರಾಂಟ್. Sir, I will do a research. How much of Trifala in what adult population will you give funding? Sir, the place I come from, pre-diabetes. How? Trifala agency. What happens? Funding agency. The implication is it encourages productivity. Publishing encourages productivity, but what happens leads to quantity over quality. You have to bring out 10 papers in the next 4 years. There is no quality. It leads to slicing data into multiple papers. One of my postgraduates, they did some papers. Same available, TOC, lipid profile, all this one in these 3 papers. This is going to happen. Why? Pressure. So, I remember when I started my clinical practice as a diabetologist way back, some of you were not born at the time. I had an elderly patient who was a retired ICS service. ICS is Indian Civil Service. Before independence, it was called ICS. Now IAS, IPS, etc.
That provides a detailed description of the proposed program. It's like an outline of the entire research process. That gives the summary of the information discussed in the project. That means what I am going to do, what is possible outcome. All those things will be there in our project. It not only record the requirement phase-wise program, but phase what you see whenever you apply for the PhD proposals, what we do, 1 to 6 months is only your proposal will be containing in first year what we will be doing, second year what we will be doing. That like that phase-wise, Similarly, it will be having phase-wise progression of the research. Even when we give you a research project in Rajiv Gandhi University, ours is only 2 years project. For faculty, we do up to 20 lakhs. They are necessary things to be secured before submission of the or before release of the grant. And research proposals can be starting place for discussion and execution. What is this movement? You see, discussion in the end of the research project is different. Discussion in the beginning of the proposal is different. Discussion in the beginning of the proposal will be convincing the experts behind now. Then only some projects will be considered. Otherwise, repeated projects. No. Then types of proposals, internal research proposals, external research proposals. In internal, again, there are academic research proposals and non-academic research proposals. External, so internal, academic means an academic proposal in the first step to be producing thesis or a major project. Its intent is to convince a supervisor or academic committee that your topic and approach are sound and it may flex degrees for. It may flex degrees for. Non-academic, this is one of the not for degree requirement, is not for degree requirement that is submitted by university or college leader to some research organization. solicited proposals are those are written and submitted in response to the issuance of a request for proposal. That means they will call ICMR will call in a particular time. What are the please who are interested? You can apply for grant in so area. That is solicited. A document that identifies a specific research problem of interest to the funding agency. That's what I am telling you. For example, Rajiv Gandhi University also gives thematic research project. During the dengue pandemic, we gave research project for dengue research. Similarly, COVID research, we gave around 15 lakhs for COVID research. So what I mean here is, a solicited research project is applied to a funding agency for the area in which they come. And interested investigators then submits a concept or white paper briefly outlining their proposal solution to the fund. If the funding agency or a company is interested, they may request that the investigator submit the full proposal on the particular topic for funding. For submission, even we have given one more type of project, that is collaborative research project. If any affiliated college researcher bring a joint venture with national premier institutions like IAS and SCD, Human Genetic Center, we because this much up to 16 lakhs collaborative research. Last time we gave for 7 such projects. So that is general body. Thematic is solicitation. Then components of the research. Introduction. Please, when you write the introduction, don't write the story. It should be as precise as possible. No evaluator is having time to ever go through everything. So it should be more specific. What is being done and what is the result draft. Certification of the choice of the topic, that is we call in Ayurveda University, need for the study, research question and hypothesis. Research question and hypothesis. Here actually for research question and hypothesis are a separate topic. I will not go into that. The statement of problem, that must be the problem statement describes the context for the study, and it also identifies the general analysis approach to indicate why the research need to be done and what will be its relevance, which conveys information about the research problem. Actually, the whole concept generation and identification of the research problem is most important aspect in the proposal writing. If you don't identify a specific focused research problem, I will tell you one research project I received from my own student and I scolded him and rejected. That's the difference. He has written synthesis, characterization and pharmacological evaluation of some novel tetracyclic compounds in treating some prevalent diseases. What nucleus of the compound is synthesized is not mentioned in the title. Okay? What disease is targeted is not mentioned. Some novel compound, some novel prevalent disease. Such type of titling will be rejected at the first stage itself. At the first stage itself. It should be more focused because funding agency is interested in funding the research, not to target. At the same time, funding agency is interested to judiciously award the grants. That's why when you want to go for judicious awarding of the grants, it should be focused and well designed. Literature review, very recent, relevant literature has literature statements in proposal. Only relevant and latest shall be there. If it is more, just like your literature review in the thesis, we read 200 research papers, am I right? No. This is not research project or research thesis. It is proposal. Therefore, crispy, most relevant, most late, that is the most recent papers has to be quoted in literature review, which shall, again there is a rider, which shall have or which shall indicate the research gaps and research extent of research, the direction of research and the gap. You should be mentioned that gap. Don't give more and more research things like that. Then, if you see theoretical framework and other things, then literature shall contain all the relevant literature. It shall also give direction to the research. That's what I tell you. It shall have a gap. It shall clearly mention the gap. It shall help in generation of this. Most they will remind us and so on, things will follow. Then it is advisable to detail that story. What I got. Now, ಒಂದಾಗಬೇಕು ಬರೆದು ಹಾಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಹಾಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕು ಈ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಷನ್ ಬರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಬಂದು ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ಯಾವ್ದು ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಷನ್ ಮೊದಲೇ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಂತ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರೋ ಅದನ್ನು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡೈಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಎರಡನೇ ಭಾಗ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡೈಸ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡೋದು ಮೂರನೇ ಭಾಗ ನಾನು ಮೂರನೇ ಭಾಗ ಮೊದಲು ಮಾಡಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ತಂದಿರೋದು ನಾನು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೈ ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಷನ್ no researching, no funding agency will accept, including RPS. There shall not be any charges. And one more thing I want to add here, I don't know, when you go for the plan of work, majority of the funds shall not be given outsourced. This is what the recent advisory committee meeting experts said. ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಇದೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಬರೀ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಎರಡು ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಒಂದು ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಾಲೋನಿಯಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ನಾಟ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನಿಂಗ್ ಈಚ್ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ದಟ್ ಶಲ್ ಬಿ ವಿಡಿಯೋಗ್ರಾಫ್ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೌ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಕನ್ಸೆಂಟ್ ಶಲ್ ಬಿ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಕನ್ಸೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಡೋದು ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಪೋಸಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಈ ಥರ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಈ ಥರ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಥವಾ ಈ ಥರ ತಗೋತೀನಿ ಅಂತ and you should also mention including criteria and excluding criteria. ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ಗಳು ತಗೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ the patient age between the diabetic patient age between 40-60 ಯಾಕೆ ಅದು ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ 40-60 ನಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಯಾಟಿ ಲಿವರ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ therefore I am intervening to not only reduce the glycemic control, I am also trying to intervene for reducing the fatty liver. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದೋ ಗೈನಕಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಏಜ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ 13 to 45 ಮೆನೋಪಾಸ್ ಅದನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಪ್ರಿಮೆಚೂರ್ ಅದನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿಲ್ಲ ಈ ರ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ including criteria should be mentioned excluding criteria. ನಾನು ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲಿಕ್ ನಾನು ಫ್ಯಾಟಿ ಲಿವರ್ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಡೂ ಇಟ್ ಆನ್ ನಾನ್ ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲಿಕ್ ಫ್ಯಾಟಿ ಲಿವರ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲಿಕ್ ಫ್ಯಾಟಿ ಲಿವರ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಮನ್ ಅವ ನಾನು ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ರೈಟೇರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲಿಕ್ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ all alcoholic and tobacco takers are kept out of my study. Of that, non-alcoholic fatty liver. Size like that, rationally one has to mention clear-cut, including, excluding criteria very rationally. I am weighing my work specifically in these conditions. I am not using arbitrary bodies here because these are very clear cut requirements for the funding agencies, not only RPFs. In case of subjective parameters, plan research requirements research including manpower. This population sampling. Indicate your sampling.